Michael Manley was a charismatic leader, known for his powerful oratory skills and his ability to connect with people from all walks of life. His speeches were not just words, they were calls to action that resonated deeply with the Jamaican populace. He served as Jamaica's Prime Minister twice, first from 1972 to 1980, and then again from 1989 to 1992. During his tenure, he implemented a range of progressive policies aimed at improving the lives of ordinary Jamaicans. Manley's leadership spanned two critical periods in Jamaica's history. In the 1970s, he navigated the country through economic challenges and social upheaval. In the late 1980s and early 90s, he returned to power with renewed vigor, focusing on economic reforms and social justice. Manley was a champion of the poor and working class. He believed that the true measure of a society was how it treated its most vulnerable members. His policies reflected this belief as he worked tirelessly to uplift those who had been marginalized. He fought tirelessly for social justice and equality, often putting himself at odds with powerful interests. His commitment to these principles earned him both admiration and criticism, but he remained steadfast in his mission to create a fairer society. Manley was born into a privileged family, yet he chose a path of service and advocacy. His early life was marked by a strong sense of social responsibility, instilled in him by his parents, who were also prominent figures in Jamaican society. However, he chose to dedicate his life to uplifting the less fortunate. He believed that true leadership meant serving those who needed it the most, and he lived by this principle throughout his career. He believed in the power of education, healthcare, and economic opportunity to transform lives. Manley introduced policies that expanded access to education, improved healthcare services, and promoted economic development, all aimed at creating a more equitable society. His vision resonated deeply with the Jamaican people. They saw in him a leader who genuinely cared about their well-being and was willing to fight for their rights. His rallies were filled with passionate supporters who believed in his message of hope and change. Manley's leadership had a profound impact on Jamaica. His policies and reforms brought about significant changes in the social and economic fabric of the country. He was a transformative figure whose influence extended beyond his time in office. He left an indelible mark on the country's social and political landscape. His achievements in promoting social justice, economic equality, and national development are still remembered and celebrated today. His legacy continues to inspire generations of Jamaicans. Young people today look up to Manley as a role model, drawing inspiration from his dedication to social justice and his unwavering commitment to the betterment of his country. They strive for a more just and equitable society, carrying forward the ideals that Manley championed. His vision of a fair and inclusive Jamaica lives on in the hearts and actions of those who continue to fight for a better future. Michael Manley's political philosophy was rooted in democratic socialism. He believed that the government should play a significant role in ensuring that all citizens had access to the resources they needed to live a dignified life. This philosophy was not just theoretical for Manley, it was a guiding principle that influenced all of his policies and actions. He believed in a more equitable distribution of wealth and power. Manley argued that the economic system should benefit everyone, not just a privileged few. He sought to create a society where the wealth generated by the nation's labor was shared more fairly among its people. He wanted to create a society where everyone had the opportunity to succeed. Education was a cornerstone of his vision, as he believed that a well-educated populace was essential for the nation's progress. He invested heavily in schools and educational programs to ensure that every child had the chance to reach their full potential. Manley's vision was driven by a deep sense of social justice. He was passionate about addressing the systemic inequalities that had long plagued Jamaican society. His commitment to social justice was not just about economic reforms, but also about creating a more inclusive and fair society. He saw the inequalities that plagued Jamaican society. Manley was acutely aware of the struggles faced by the poor and marginalized communities. He understood that true progress could not be achieved unless these deep-rooted issues were addressed head-on. He was determined to address them. Manley worked tirelessly with his advisors and government officials to develop policies that would tackle these issues. His determination was evident in the numerous initiatives and reforms he introduced during his time in office. He wanted to create a Jamaica where everyone had access to basic necessities like healthcare, education, and housing. Manley believed that these were fundamental rights that every citizen deserved. He implemented policies aimed at improving the quality and accessibility of these essential services. Manley's commitment to social justice was evident in his policies. He introduced a range of social programs designed to uplift the poor and marginalized. These programs were not just about providing immediate relief, but also about creating long-term opportunities for growth and development. He implemented a range of social programs designed to uplift the poor and marginalized. These initiatives included job training programs, healthcare reforms, and educational scholarships. Manley believed that by investing in people, the nation as a whole would prosper. These programs aimed to empower ordinary Jamaicans. Manley wanted to give people the tools they needed to improve their own lives. He believed that empowerment was the key to breaking the cycle of poverty and creating a more just society. They would have a chance to improve their lives. Manley's vision for a better Jamaica was one where every citizen had the opportunity to thrive, regardless of their background or economic status. His legacy continues to inspire those who believe in the power of social justice and equality. Education was a cornerstone of Michael Manley's vision for a more equitable Jamaica. He believed that education was the key to breaking the cycle of poverty. It was also important for creating a more just and prosperous society. Manley's government made significant investments in education. They expanded access to primary and secondary education. They also established new tertiary institutions. This made higher education more accessible to a wider segment of the population. Manley's education reforms had a transformative impact on Jamaica. They helped to create a more educated and skilled workforce. They also fostered greater social mobility. This allowed more Jamaicans to climb the socio-economic ladder. Land reform was another key pillar of Michael Manley's social democratic agenda. He believed that land ownership was essential for economic empowerment. It was also important for social justice. Manley's government implemented a land redistribution program. This program transferred land from large landowners to small farmers and landless peasants. This gave them the opportunity to become self-sufficient and contribute to the country's agricultural output. Manley's land reform program was not without its critics. However, it had a significant impact on rural communities. It helped to reduce poverty and inequality. It also empowered many Jamaicans by giving them a stake in the country's economic future. Section 5. Healthcare and housing. Michael Manley recognized the importance of healthcare and housing for the well-being of all Jamaicans. He believed that everyone deserved access to quality healthcare and affordable housing. Manley's government expanded access to healthcare services. They built new hospitals and clinics. They also implemented programs to improve maternal and child health. These efforts helped to improve health outcomes for many Jamaicans. In addition to healthcare, Manley's government also prioritized housing. They built thousands of affordable housing units across the country. This provided safe and decent housing for low-income families. Section 6. Economic challenges. Despite his many achievements, Michael Manley's time in office was not without its challenges. His government faced significant economic difficulties. These were partly due to external factors such as the global oil crisis of the 1970s. Manley's socialist policies were also blamed for some of the country's economic woes. His critics argued that his government's interventionist policies stifled private investment. This led to economic stagnation. The economic challenges faced by Manley's government led to social unrest. There were strikes and protests as people demanded better living conditions. This period of economic hardship tested Manley's leadership. However, he remained committed to his vision of a more equitable society.
Check, check. Check 1, check 2, check, check.
Section 7. A controversial figure. Michael Manley was a controversial figure both domestically and internationally. His socialist policies and close ties to Cuba drew criticism from the United States and its allies. Manley's critics accused him of being a communist. They claimed that his policies were leading Jamaica down a dangerous path. However, Manley remained defiant. He defended his government's right to pursue an independent foreign policy. He also stood by his commitment to social justice. Despite the controversies, Manley remained a popular figure among many Jamaicans. They admired his charisma, his commitment to the poor, and his vision for a better Jamaica. Section 8. A lasting legacy. Michael Manley left an enduring legacy on Jamaica. He's remembered as a transformative leader who fought tirelessly for social justice and equality. His contributions to education, healthcare, land reform and housing continue to benefit Jamaicans today. Manley's legacy extends beyond his policies. He inspired generations of Jamaicans to believe in a more just and equitable society. He showed that it was possible to challenge the status quo and fight for the rights of the marginalized. Manley's legacy is complex and multifaceted. However, there is no doubt that he left an indelible mark on Jamaica. He is remembered as one of the country's most significant and consequential leaders. Section 9. Remembering Michael Manley. It is important to remember Michael Manley and his contributions to Jamaica. As a visionary leader, he championed the rights of the underprivileged and worked tirelessly to uplift the nation. His policies and initiatives were aimed at creating a more inclusive society where every Jamaican could have a fair chance at success. His story is a reminder of the power of leadership, the ability to inspire change, and the importance of standing up for one's beliefs. Manley's tenure was marked by significant social and economic reforms that sought to address the inequalities that plagued the nation. The importance of social justice and the relentless pursuit of equality. He was a staunch advocate for the working class and implemented policies that aimed to improve their living conditions and the enduring struggle for equality. His efforts in promoting education, healthcare and economic opportunities were pivotal in shaping modern Jamaica. Manley's legacy should inspire us to continue to fight for a more just and equitable world. His vision was not just for his time, but for future generations to build upon. We must never forget the importance of education, healthcare, and the role they play in empowering individuals and communities. Manley believed that access to these fundamental rights was essential for the progress of any society and economic opportunity for all. He worked to create job opportunities and improve the economic landscape of Jamaica, ensuring that everyone had a chance to thrive. We must also remember the importance of standing up for what we believe in, even in the face of adversity. Manley faced numerous challenges and opposition, yet he remained steadfast in his commitment to his principles, even in the face of adversity. His resilience and determination are lessons for us all, reminding us that true leadership requires courage and conviction. Michael Manley's vision of a more just and equitable Jamaica remains relevant today. His policies and ideals continue to influence contemporary leaders and inspire new generations. As we face the challenges of the 21st century, we can draw inspiration from his life and legacy. His work serves as a blueprint for addressing the social and economic issues that persist today. We can draw inspiration from his life and legacy. By studying his achievements and understanding his vision, we can find ways to apply his principles to our current struggles. Let us honor his memory by continuing to strive for a better future for all. In doing so, we not only pay tribute to Michael Manley, but also ensure that his dream of a fair and just society lives on.